Non-smoker for life. Non-smoker for life. Non-smoker for life. Mary J. Stevens, PhD. Harry Alexander Herstone book. Alright, introduction, history of tobacco use, one's introduction, addictions, habits, myths, quitting, why continue smoking, available treatment programs, goal-oriented treatment program, Estee is here saying a non-smoker. Introduction and history of tobacco use. Before we get to the real meat of the matter, important to outline some of the whys whereof of smoking. Without information, you won't be able to make an intelligent decision to give up cigarettes for good, so settle back and share a light up and take a brief trip through the history with some economics thrown in the good of the measure, learning about this thing called smoking. When Sir Walter Raleigh came to the New World in the 17th century, he brought with him something he would forever change the lives of the Native Americans who tried it and people who would further settle with the New World. It was something that would make a lot of money in future generations. It was tobacco. Raleigh probably never thought what the tobacco plants would produce the cause of the health problems society faces with it today. All the main reasons introducing tobacco New World was economic. Tobacco was used as a means of the trading with the Native Americans. Tobacco was something who first inhabited the land, but it didn't have it. It was also something not widely available in Europe and made for the prime trading commodity. Tobacco was also thought of to be the cure of the variety of ailments of European culture, dating as far as back as the 17th century. There was talk about cure of headaches, asthma, gout, and ulcers. Tobacco is even thought to be cure of the Black Plague. Some Europeans didn't find use for tobaccos, but most believe that the drug should be left alone. Jesuit priest Jacob Blade wondered why tobacco should be touted as a cure for anything. He wrote in 1658 there was a difference between smoking and suicide, except that one takes longer to kill himself than the other. In any event, they found that tobacco could be grown more efficiently in the New World than anywhere else, so the climate right on the colonies Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina region got the right amount of the rainfall each year to produce the crop. When tobacco was established as a cash crop colonist, there was a big call for Europe. Europe colonies were aided with the endeavor. European governments by late 19th century, the American tobacco industry flourished. Any of the arguments against the use of tobacco were seen as not valid. It would be fair to though to blame Riley for today's troubles with the tobacco prior to mass introduction of the tobacco plant with the New World, smoking didn't exist, or did exist. History tells us pre-Columbian times people smoked something largely ceremonial purpose. Indian culture would smoke with a peace pipe to celebrate the end of the battle, the tour of the further hostile substances used in smoking were as part of the summer ceremonies on the part of Indian cultures. By the beginning of the 20th century, the tobacco industries were ready to take off. The World War I, cigarette smoking began global, while smoking prior to the First World War was predominantly male pursuit. The more and more women craved to try it. The tobacco companies saw that it was an avenue for the marketing efforts. Some of the medical professions believed that smoking caused health problems, that they were largely in the minority. 1930s medical research started showing a link between the smoking and health. More research resulted in further evidence smoking was a bad person's health. First time U.S. government told us of the dangers of smoking, U.S. Surgeon General report released in 1964. It said other things that smoking was habit forming. Another report, a U.S. Surgeon General warning in 1979, was more direct. It stated smoking was prototypical substance abuse dependency. They dedicated to the 1980s saw the fight with the ban tobaccos expand. Many of the communities passed ordinances prohibiting smoking in restaurants, workplaces, and public places. Further studies show that not only smokers were causing themselves health problems, secondhand smoking generation smokers were shown to cause their health problems for other people. The aim of regulation was the people did not take it upon themselves. The government warned the government would impose guidelines to protect the general health. So if the medical research effects of smoking is available to public consumption, why do you continue to smoke? Are you ignoring the facts that smoking is bad for your health and health of those around you? Probably not. Is that you can't quit the habit for good. You're undoubtedly tired of quitting more than once. You've undoubtedly tried to quit more than once. For matter, you may be expert stopping since you've done it so often. Problem is, if you have not been able to say stop, the number of factors that complicate the person will stop smoking and advertising tobacco product is one. Yes, all the ads in cigarette carry a government warning on the dangerous effects smoking, but is an image thing conveyed in the advertising message. Look closely, advertising cigarettes in your favorite magazine. What does it show? It depicts people that usually the upper class enjoy a good time while smoking. You can sail and smoke. You can herd cattle while smoking. You can race cars while smoking. The list goes on and on. Advertising industry created the image of the smoker. Members of the low social economic group strive to be just like the people. So see depicted advertisement. Remember the Marlboro Man for years. Madison Avenue showed the image was one of the could achieve. We could smoke a big wheel on the range as Marlboro Man is now herding cattle on the big range in the sky. He died of lung cancer resulting from the smoking. U.S. government in 1970 banned tobacco advertising broadcast media that wasn't accomplished for the flavor of tobacco companies or other tobacco interests. Tobacco advertising still preserves some printed media, magazine billboards, for instance. As the decades in the 90s dawned, smoking was banned on domestic airline flights for less than 3 hours. Piping and cigarette smoke has been banned much earlier than the airlines. There's more move now to the complete ban cigarette smoking airline flights originating in the United States. What about the effects of secondhand smoking? A U.S. Environmental Protection Agency report is issued in January 1993. Saying secondhand smoke is a carcinogen and it kills estimated 3,000 non-smokers a year from lung cancer. During disease control studying the effects of secondhand smoke. A study had not been completed in January 1993, but preliminary reports, CDC said that it found signs of nicotine in the bodies of people tested. All of the CDC tested 23,000 Americans from the age from 4 to 91. First 800 people tested showed traces of nicotine, a byproduct of the nicotine. A blood serum, and CDC would have complete results on the study beginning in 1988, completed something in 1994. Now that you've got the idea, the history of the tobacco, let's look at the history with it. Alright, the non-smoker life.